Hello everybody, I'm Casey from the Garden Home Library and I am showing you our Valentine craft kit today. So here's the kit, here's what it will look like when you pick it up from the library. And I want to show you some of the stuff that's inside. We've got doilies, string, ribbons, yarn, some confetti made out of tissue paper. So I have some tissue paper, some lace, a bit of lace, some paper, and some envelopes. So it's all the Valentine's goodness. What can we do with it? Let's figure that out. Oh, actually before I get started, I wanted to point out that the kit comes with some glue stick, but you might want some other kind of glue. This is tacky glue. Want some tape too, want some markers, and maybe some scissors. Some other things you might want to have handy. Some Valentine accessories, maybe a drink, a snack. Make yourself cozy and enjoy the art of making classic Valentines. So I want to show you how to make a heart shape out of just a piece of rectangular paper. So first, you're going to fold the paper in half. And then think about what half a heart shape looks like. Let's hide half of this heart shape. It looks kind of like an ear shape. I'm gonna draw an ear shape and I'm gonna make sure that that ear shape is on the fold. So I'll draw that shape really quickly. So my ear shape looks like this. Now I'm gonna cut it out. And voila, a heart. You also have another heart shape on that piece of paper that you cut the heart out of. So you can use both of those. Another thing you can do is you can draw another ear shape inside the other ear shape. So you can see that there. Now I'm going to cut that out. And then I've got that. Plus I have an extra heart. And that heart looks kind of cool layered inside the other heart. That was the first heart that we had cut out of. Another option, if you don't want to cut the heart paper in half, or if you don't want to fold the paper in half, is you can fold it not in half, just fold it part way over, and then you draw another ear shape, and it's a smaller heart. As you can see, then there's a lot more paper to work with to make more hearts. So I'm going to keep playing around with that, and I'll check back in with you in a little bit. So something I just did was I punched holes all around the periphery of this heart. And the reason I did that is because I don't really like the goopiness of gluing ribbons, and there's just so many ribbons in this kit. But I do really like weaving things, so here's a little trick with weaving. I'm going to put a ribbon in one of the holes, just barely overlapping the hole. I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to tape that ribbon to the back of this design, just a little bit with a little bit of tape. And then I'm going to weave the ribbon back and forth. So here I weave it through the hole to the back of the design, and then front to the front of the design. I'm going to keep doing that. I'll check back in when I have played with this a little bit more and added some more ribbons and show you what it ends up looking like. All right, so I added that first ribbon and it looks like this, and you can see the end is just on the back side there, so I'm gonna tape that end too. And now I want to add some more ribbons. So I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did the first time. Poke it through and then tape it. And see how there's little tape overlapping it? I'm just going to cut that tape off. All right, so I wove this ribbon through all of the holes. And as you can see, I have 3 different kinds of ribbon. And so there's a more sheer red ribbon at the top, there's the striped ribbon, and then there's a heart printed ribbon. And I think they all look pretty wonderfully Valentine-y together. So piece is done for now. I also want to show you another technique. remember when I made this heart before, this framed heart? I want to take a piece of string and wrap the heart. I'm going to loosely wrap it because I don't have a lot of string. First I'm going to tape the string to the back of the heart. So that looks like that, just taped. And then I'm just going to wrap the string around the heart like this. The thing with Valentine decor is you can't have too much. It's impossible to have too many frilly details. So if you just have a plain heart, I mean, that's okay, but see what else you can do to it. The more details, the more you're showing your love. Another thing I really like about Valentine's is how awesome Valentine's look when you layer a lot. So here's a background layer that I just drew, just a bunch of hearts made out of marker hearts, and then just a little bit of colored pencil over the top of them. Now I'm going to glue on a pink doily. And then I have the heart frame that I made earlier. I'm going to use glue stick for that too. And I'm putting that directly over the doily. So now you can see the doily has a nice little frame. And I took one of my sparkly stickers and I put it on one of the other hearts that I made. And I'm going to glue that right over the top of the inside of the doily. Woo! Look at that. That's pretty fun. I have another Valentine started, my second Valentine, and I have multiple layers here with this Valentine, but I feel like it still needs a little extra oomph. So your kit came with some decorative tissue paper sticking out of the top of it, a little crunched up. And we're gonna crunch it up even more, but first I wanna cut it into squares. I wanna show you a fun technique. So I'm gonna just cut this into 2 squares, and then I'm gonna fold it in half again, cut it into 4 pieces, fold it in half again, and cut it into 8 pieces, fold it in half again, and I'm gonna cut it into 16 pieces, and then I'm going to fold it in half again and then cut it into 32 pieces. And then it's a nice smallish square. I could keep going and make it 64, but I think it's getting a little small at that point. So I have my glue stick, it's open, it's sitting here, and I'm going to do this technique that I remember doing when I was a kid in art class, where I wrap one of those little squares of tissue paper around a marker, or you can use a pencil, and then you rub that the end of the marker on the glue, get it nice and gluey, and then you stick that square down. If the glue stick doesn't work well, you might want to break out the glue, but just a dab of glue on a piece of paper that you use as a palette for the glue could work too. So I'm going to do that a few more times. I'm going to wrap the square of tissue paper around the pen. I put a dab of glue on the tissue paper, and then I just press that tissue paper down onto the heart. And I'll show you what those two together look like. They look like they're adding some texture to that heart. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to fill up the heart with tissue paper and see how it goes. And this is what it ended up looking like. It just really adds a lot of height to the heart, and kind of makes it look fun, I think. So I just finished my Valentines, and I have 4 of them. And so this is the first one. I walked you through a lot of the things that I did to make this first one. Ribbons, lace, doilies, glitter, hearts. It's a fun little classic Valentine too. Big old heart on the front with the kind of almost carnation-like effects created by a little cut up tissue paper. And then I made just kind of like a goofy, cute, simple card with a doily and a heart with 2 little googly eyes and a pom-pom for a nose and some marker eyebrows and a mouth. And then I used all the rest of the supplies on this one. And I kind of was asking the question, is it possible to make a Valentine that has too much stuff on it. And I'm gonna let you decide. I'll give it to somebody that likes a lot of bling. I had fun, and that's the most important thing. Besides the other most important thing, which is actually giving these Valentines to somebody that you love, or somebody that you just really, really like a lot. So think of somebody who would love to get something handmade and write a sweet note to them. Tell them what you appreciate about them. Tell maybe a memory of something that you did together that that makes you feel happy whenever you think about it. Or maybe tell them something that they taught you about life that you think is one of the most important things. Or just tell them something nice about them. Like, what do you like about them? Because one of the most important things about a Valentine is what goes inside with the words that you write inside. I look forward to seeing your creations if you'd like to share any of those with us at the Garden Home Library. And hope you enjoy your kits, and happy Valentine's Day.